Rahner Report with Mark Rahner. Mark Rahner right now. Mark Rahner right now. Mark Rahner right now. Report with Mark Rahner.
It's Later with Mo Kelly on KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeart app. I'm Mark Rahner, and this is the Rahner Report. We're going to switch it up tonight because this is what people are talking about, and we don't just talk about superhero movies or horror flicks here. Finger on the pulse. I'm sure all the guys here made sure to watch the series finale of And Just Like That last night. Put on a comfy muumuu, make a Cosmo, or in Tuala's case, a Virgin Cosmo, and settle in to watch Carrie, Miranda, and Charlotte follow through on their long-standing murder-suicide pact. Here's some of the HBO promo for the finale.
What is that? Tommy Tomato. You don't have to eat alone. Lunch with a side of shame.
Our guest list dropped from 13 to 6.
Now, Joy isn't coming either. She's just uncomfortable with families.
I may be alone for the rest of my life. There will be a new man in your life. You set me up with Mark? He is smart and cultured. He has been married 3 times.
I'm in love with a man who will never get married.
It's about their feelings, their disappointments. Is it ever about us?
What are we gonna do?
We return to something more wild, free. You are so fabulous. Oh, well, that was never in question.
Or maybe they didn't have a murder-suicide pact. I didn't really stick with the show very long after Mr. Big cashed out after overexerting himself on a Peloton. And then Peloton stock took a dive. And then a couple women accused Chris Noth, who played Mr. Big, of sexual assault. And I just had to wash my hands of the whole thing. Too messy. Also, the show wasn't that good. But look, cards on the table here. When Sex and the City had its original run on HBO, it was some water cooler TV. It was a little edgy and transgressive for mainstream American TV, even if it was on pay cable. 4 affluent women in New York and all their romances and hookups with assorted life and career stuff thrown in. It was part of HBO's stable of cool grown-up TV, along with The Wire, Rome, which not enough people have seen or remember, Oz, The Sopranos. It was part of that lineup. Don't pretend otherwise now, like you're ashamed, like it gave you. So you may want to disavow it now, but we all watched it, okay? Try to picture Mo and Tuala painting each other's toenails on a Sunday night during each new episode. It was fun. I even had a buddy in an episode, and he was proud of it. Sex and the City ran 6 seasons, then it had a couple movies, and then this revival, reunion, whatever, called And Just Like That began in 2021. Why not? Everyone likes nostalgia. Bring back your old friends like Cobra Kai, but with women in their 50s who could probably still fight more believably than Cobra Kai. Sweep the leg, spread the legs. Do what you're most skilled at. Whatever your kung fu is, do that. So I tuned in for the finale last night. Show's been around for 27 years. Why not see how they wrap it up and say goodbye? It's Thanksgiving. Carrie's coming to terms with maybe or maybe not having someone to soak her teeth with and grow old with. Charlotte's married and her husband has or has had cancer and is unable to perform his husbandly duties. Miranda's son's obnoxious and has even more obnoxious friends who come over for dinner. The actress who played the cool nun Van Helsing in the recent Dracula miniseries, Dolly Wells, is now Miranda's girlfriend. Oh yeah, Miranda's into chicks now, which happens. And Samantha, who Kim Cattrall played, is just out of the picture. Sure, it's some HBO money, but she was the smart one now, wasn't she? Girlfriend, this will go down in history as one of the worst and least satisfying series finales of all time. A murder-suicide pact would have been so much better than what we got. I'm not saying it was worse than the one for Lost, but when I say this show is a Code Brown, this time I mean it literally. The highlight of this otherwise irritating, dull, anticlimactic episode with characters written so they're impossible to like or care about is an overflowing toilet with lots of poop that we get to see. How edgy. Listen, I've never been big on focus groups, but I'm just trying to imagine how that one might have gone. What's the one thing you still haven't seen on Sex and the City that you'd like to? The one taboo that hasn't been explored? Something really naughty that no one else has had the nerve to, go there? Some number 2. Do you even care about spoilers at this point? Victor Garber, who's great in everything, plays an older guy interested in Carrie, and she's looking for ways to avoid going home with him after the dinner at Miranda's place for really irritating Thanksgiving dinner. He goes in the bathroom to do a number one, he flushes, and the worst thing in the world starts to happen. The water starts rising, and it keeps rising. And listen, I live in such an old house that when my landlady took a shower at the time, I usually do every single workday, by the way, so it's not like... Anyway, I had to come to work Monday feeling like Andy Dufresne after crawling through the Shawshank prison sewers. Bad plumbing is one of my top phobias. But that's going to be your big moment in the farewell episode of a beloved franchise that's been around 27 years. That's going to be the most memorable thing in the last episode anyone sees after knowing these characters. Nearly 3 decades. That's what you want to leave people with? Oh, Carrie decides she's a strong woman on her own. Miranda's husband experiences a miraculous wood incident and does his husbandly duty. And boy, did Kim Cattrall make the right choice by staying away. And she was in Porky's, all right? Remember? The one who howls like a dog during sets? You remember it?
Yes.
And everyone can hear it. And the coach in the gym laughs so hard he's got to wrap himself in a pad hanging from a wall. And she wanted nothing to do with this train wreck. I'm trying to think of the worst series finales of all time. And a lot of them are more recent because TV has gotten more serialized in recent years. When we were growing up, TV was so episodic, it often didn't even matter what order the episodes were shown in. The final episode of Star Trek was Turnabout Intruder, where we get to watch William Shatner act like a woman in a man's body. And that's something, by the way. Let me just...
It is mutiny! Deliberate, vindictive, insane at its base. But mutiny is charged and encouragement of mutiny. Mr. McCoy, Mr. Scott, you heard it?
Hang on. Here you go.
Go to your posts.
Oh, yeah, that's some good Shatner right there. So, worst series finales of all time. I mentioned Lost. Dexter was pretty bad. Game of Thrones, universally hated. And now we have And Just Like That, or Just Like Splat. Let me know if you can think of worse ones. You know where to find me.
The Sopranos.
Well, that's a controversial one. I go back and forth on that. And we could spend a whole show debating that. But I think David Chase came out and admitted that Tony and the family get whacked at the end of that. I can't get sidetracked on that. This has been your Rahner Report. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Mo.
Let me just say that I, up until recently, had seen every episode of Sex and the City and Just Like That.
Yeah, we all watched it.
I gave up in the second season of Just Like That. I think that's when Big died, had his heart attack. Spoiler alert.
I think he died like within the first couple episodes of the series.
Okay, then I stopped watching after that point. Now, my wife watched all the way through. It didn't have the same magic. It was boring to me. I was rooting for Aiden and Carrie. And yes, I know they tried one more time in this last season. And I'm glad that Aiden took a dump all over Carrie in this season.
What did he do? What did that bastard do to her?
No. He was the nice guy throughout the series that Carrie should have been with, but she ended up with Big. And
right.
We saw that turned out. Yeah,
well, his hats were annoying. And here's another thing that I didn't mention. And, I'm a little bit vain. I'm not crazy about admitting it, but that's more or less our generation or we're in the ballpark. So, like when we heard this week about Dee from What's Happening passing away or even Ozzy dying, that's all stuff that makes people on the upper end of Gen X, well, terrified.
Yes.
That's the word I was looking for, terrified. The people our parents' age are all dying. Some of the people our age are dying. And nostalgia is really no comfort at all, actually. And this was meant to be comforting nostalgia. I mean, listen, one day you're knocking back some cocktails, talking to your friends about butt stuff or how your boyfriend sits on the upholstery naked, which is also technically butt stuff. And the next day you're reading about Jeff Bezos buying the James Bond movie rights and wanting to put his 55-year-old new wife in the Bond movie.
Where did the time go?
Is Ernst Stavro Blofeld trying to dominate the world through cosmetic surgery now? And by the way, there's no specific allegation in that sentence, and therefore I cannot be sued.
Are you sure about that? Because people can sue for any ridiculous reason.
I am not a ham sandwich. I will not be sued over that.
Okay, if you say so. Well, thank you for doing that. Because I was sneezing my head off as opposed to laughing my head off.
Glad I could help.
No, but that was pretty funny with the car wash claps, okay? That was very funny. I'll give you that.
Just for you.
Thank you very much.